Hey, it's Mark Wahlberg. Welcome to Click TV.
Welcome to Click TV.
Hello, welcome to Click TV. I'm Mark.
I'm Jack.
I'm Daniel.
Yeah.
And today we're talking about 3 of our most anticipated games of the year.
Which have nothing in common.
No, we haven't figured out anything in common.
No.
2 of them have W in.
Yeah.
The third one doesn't.
Let's start with...
So I suppose Titanfall is the first one. It won me the battle of Xbox versus PS4, I'm glad to say. So what do you think about it so far?
It's not out though.
No, it's not out.
Are we not allowed to talk about games that aren't out?
No, well, that would make a preview kind of difficult, wouldn't it? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, well, I did get hands-on with Titanfall at Eurogamer.
Okay.
So I've really enjoyed it so far. It is kind of a Call of Duty-esque feel to it. But that's, of course,
Especially with the
because
giant mechs that walk around and grab people.
that is kind of the main difference, I suppose, between them. That and the free running element as well. So you're finally getting what would have made Mirror's Edge perfect, which is like free running along walls
Shooting.
with guns.
Could you
Aren't
not
the
free
graphics
run?
really terrible though? I think the graphics look really bad.
No, so far I've been pretty happy with it.
Yeah, what does a giant mech even look like
Well,
to you,
the
Daniel?
Cross-platform. This is the problem, I suppose, with cross-platform games. I think it looks fast, so it looks a bit crappy.
But you're getting
What's
Xbox
it?
360, which we've probably seen footage of. But I don't think we've seen too much from Xbox One, and you'll have the PC super.
That's actually because the Xbox 360 version is being developed by someone who's not Respawn Entertainment. I don't remember who it is.
We know stuff.
We'll find out. But it's not Respawn.
But yeah, so far it feels pretty good, I have to say. I mean, this could be the Call of Duty killer of the year, in my humble opinion.
Because they exist.
And is this finally a reason to buy an Xbox One?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you have a PC that's
Or a 360.
capable of gaming, then no. 360 wise versus Xbox One, they haven't said what the difference between the two versions will be. You can assume it'll be prettier, hopefully, less loading times, and
Fewer loading times.
Maybe not.
Grammar Nazi!
Maybe not worse. Maybe not worse.
Yeah.
Frame rates was what I was gonna say.
Isn't the frame rate meant to be quite high? Are they managing 60?
They
That's 'cause
haven't
it's ugly, right?
officially said,
They haven't officially said.
which probably means
Which means no, actually.
And am I right in saying that doesn't have a release date either?
It does actually.
Confirmed
I
release
think
date?
it's March 22nd, but I'm often wrong.
Okay. Our other 2 games don't have release dates.
Yes,
Speaking of which.
one of which is
Yes.
The Witcher 3, which
Yes.
I'm excited about because I like good games. It's
You didn't play the first one though.
anyway.
I did.
Yes, that's true. Okay, you did. You lead with The Witcher 1.
Sure, with Witcher, it's based on a series of fantasy novels written in the 80s by a Polish man. Can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. It's a
which
theme in
also
this
then
video.
became a really, really weird TV show, if you ever track that down somewhere. And there's actually quite an interesting TV show. And then the first game was released in 2007 by
Yeah.
CD Projekt Red, who also own GOG.com, which we love very much. And it was an open
Nice
world... Nice what?
Nice
shout out. It's an open world. It was an open world fantasy hack and slashy thing with a really, really awkward mouse controls. But
It's funny you should say that because Witcher 2 is also an open world hack and slashy
Wow.
type thing. That was released both in 2011 and 2012. 2012 being the enhanced edition for the Xbox 360. And it was pretty good. And it mainly focused on you'd come to a morally ambiguous situation and you either had the choice to kill many people or an awful lot of people. And whichever one you picked, there would be consequences. Usually awful, dire, really depressing consequences, but consequences nonetheless.
yes.
So, going on history, can we assume that The Witcher 3 will be somewhat open world, maybe some hack and slashing?
Actually,
Quite
the,
violent.
the other two weren't terribly open world. They were
Okay.
relatively linear experiences.
First one's quite open world.
Okay, fine. The second
have you
one was
now?
certainly a linear experience. But yes, no, this one is apparently 30 times bigger than the second one, which, considering the second one's like a 15 to 20 hour game, that's probably pretty good. Yeah, most of the talk's been on the
That
consequences.
math is actually terrifying if you think about it.
Yeah, 30
That's-
times.
that's-
30 is a big number.
That's a big number.
30 times 15
30 times
hours.
15 is my life.
But the combat's improved. They say they've got 96 separate animations, not including his 10 major...
Combat was a little ropey, wasn't it?
Huh?
Combat was a little ropey in the last one, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we were talking to them recently on clickonline.com. You should check it out because there's an interview there. And they said now that all the finishes are actually part of the combat system. There's no separate cutscenes for them. There's the bombs and the grenades are still there, the throwing knives. There's different weapons, a new combat system. I mean, defense system. And you can kind of, apparently, they didn't talk about it much, but you can target different parts of an enemy. So you're like, chop off his ankles, and then he'll have no ankles, which sounds good to me.
Sure. And no release date again, is it?
No,
Very late 2014.
I assume very late 2014.
because it's pretty.
And on the subject of Watch Dogs,
It wasn't.
let's talk about Watch Dogs.
Sure. Watch Dogs. I mean, is there anything else we can say about Watch Dogs at this point? Yes, because we have to.
We should say it looks good. Have we said that?
We
no?
have. I don't know if people have said it enough. It's the biggest disappointment of the of the new console launch generation, the launch era.
The fact that it's not
the fact
out.
that it doesn't exist, and the fact that a lot of people didn't want PS4s anymore because they couldn't get it. And
Like me.
yes, you did. You cancelled your pre-order, or you didn't even have a pre-order, did you?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Whichever is
So
more
one of those
dramatic.
things.
Say that happened to me.
So this is actually a properly open world game. It is from Ubisoft, who have a really good track record with open world games in the
They
last
do.
few years.
Like Assassin's Creed 4.
And Far Cry 3.
Recently. Yeah, and Far Cry 3, of course.
And I think if it manages to mix both of those games, which it kind of is to some degree, add in some next gen shininess, it could end up being one of the games of the year, or it could just be another generic open world game.
But it's funny how it's kind of capturing what's going on at the moment with so many American fears over the FBI hacking into your webcam and the
I
NSA.
don't know if it's a response to that or if that's just a convenient political twist.
No,
that
it's definitely
occurred.
just convenient that it's cropped up at the same time.
Yeah.
As a game in development. For
Or
4
are
years.
Ubisoft
Yeah.
behind the NSA?
Are they?
But-
Maybe they are.
But what about the delay? Do you think that they just didn't think it looked great enough for a next gen release? And
But
they
you're
just
going up
delayed
against GTA if you were going on the current gen.
Well, no,
And-
they had a 2-month window. In fact, they had that cheeky poster that said 2 months is enough time for Los Santos.
But apparently it wasn't, because people are still playing the online or
That is true.
finally tweaking out the bugs, plus you've got the DLC coming in as well.
Mm.
So, which of the three are we most excited about? Are we allowed to say this, or are we all rooting for
Ooh,
one?
that's a controversial one.
I'm
That's
sorry,
definitely
sorry.
Watch Dogs.
I'm kind of leaning towards Titanfall, I have to say,
Yeah.
because
I suppose you know what you're going to get with Titanfall more than with
Yeah.
Watch Dogs. Watch
Titans
Dogs
falling.
could be a massive folly, possibly, but
hopefully not.
I don't
not.
think
We've
so.
already said why it won't suck.
Super.
So
Yeah, and we know stuff. And The Witcher is also coming out.
The Witcher is coming out. I'm sure it'll be brilliant.
Yes, it
But Watch Dogs is probably sooner, so I'm excited for that.
So the release dates for Titanfall is March
22nd.
maybe. We're hoping to see Watch Dogs in the second quarter, hopefully.
Yeah, quarter 2,
And
2014.
We might expect, hopefully, The Witcher by the end of the year. If
And
not,
then
early
never just need to find
2015.
one of 2014.
And that's just a couple, or 3 of the games we're looking forward
Yes.
to in 2014. And head to clickonline.com for more.